Yo, yo, yo. I'd like to
Yo,
welcome
yo,
it.
yo.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Perfect Angle.
What's
This is your boy
poppin'?
Paul Wall, and the other box over there is our boy JG,
What's
and the
poppin'?
handsome devilish man you see in front of us is John Colca, the general manager of the Inglewood Blackhawks.
Dang.
Sporting that fresh Santa Claus.
Oh, I love it. All right, Coca, before every episode, we already know what time it is. Let us bow.
Father God, we thank you for today, Lord. We thank you for our guest, John. We thank you for the perfect angle, the mission that you've given us with this podcast. Father God, I ask that you continue to flow through us freely and unhindered, Lord. Continue to shed your light. Let our viewers and listeners see you through us and what we're doing. I ask that you bless this episode in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. All
Howdy,
right.
boys.
So, hey, man. Hey, so for our viewers and our
Cheers.
listeners, we have John Colca, the general manager of the Inglewood Blackhawks in the house.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's
But
go.
before we get into all that good stuff, John, let's talk about how you even just came into the semi-pro world, man. Like, give us a little background on you.
All right, so this is a good one. I kind of did everything backwards. In my
Okay.
early 20s, I kind of got into the bar scene, and it kind of stuck to my late 20s, having fun, going places, getting thrown out all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
it got bad. It got bad. When I
Okay.
tell people that, football saved my life, it actually did.
Excuse me.
So, at one point, we're sitting on the couch, me and Big Spence's brother, Matt, went to college together,
Okay.
and we're both talking about, what the hell are we going to do with our lives? What are we doing? We wanted to stay in something athletic. We were working shit dead end jobs, and it was okay. Well, let's get in shape. Let's start there. He was in shape. Much better shape than I am now. But it was get back in shape. That was the goal. Get back in shape. That was the first thing we needed to do.
Okay.
So we start training to get in the cage.
Oh,
Okay, we
wow.
started
Ooh.
we started training, pretty seriously for it. Um, got in great shape, and I'm sitting
Okay.
on the couch one day, and I'm watching TV, and I'm watching this football game. I can't remember what channel I was on or what I was scrolling through. It was the San Diego Thunder,
Oh, okay.
and whoever the hell they played, I think it was the Philadelphia Panthers from the East Coast in the LCFL championship game that was televised.
Okay.
This is
Really?
back when Tony was doing this with Patty LaBelle, there was serious money behind it. The original LCFL was Patty LaBelle's baby.
Right.
Okay, that's
Okay.
back when, the LCFL had 30 teams on the West Coast, 30 teams on the East Coast,
Right.
and
Hey.
you got a true national champion from one league. Um, so I'm watching it and I'm going, what in the fuck is this? Who are these people? Where is this from? So you jump on, you get on Google, you find, okay, wow, minor league football. Holy shit. Wait a minute. Teams in the LA area. What's going on here, right? Like my mind is blown,
Sounds
once
like
I
what
got
I
out of
did.
college, that was it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like football was done, Um, I got on the phone, I called Matt, I said, "Hey bro, I don't think I'm going to fight. Like I think I'm going to play football."
Nice.
So you get on the LCFL website and you start Googling. Well, I found the LA Generals. Now,
Hey.
unbeknownst to me at the time, LA Generals practiced in Compton. I thought this was the closest team to me because it was labeled LA. Turns out
Okay.
the
Mm.
Blackhawks were down the street the entire time.
Right.
But I wouldn't change it for the world because I got to come in with the guys I came in with. The first dudes I played with were Michael Gilliam, Corey Johnson, Red, um,
Ballers.
I can Day Day, guys that we don't even remember anymore. Nate was the owner of the team, lives in Arizona now. I mean, Nate ended up doing a few teams along the lines, But these are the guys I met. Javon Moore, that takes our photos, okay, was my head coach. Steph was my defensive coordinator. These were
Okay.
and what a better group to come in with. You know what I mean? What a better group of guys to really make you fall in love with the game again.
Right.
No matter where we've gone, T-Pain, no matter where we've gone, Clark. That's when I first met Clark and Lucy. And they became, family for years. And to this day, we're good friends. There are so many people that I met through that and learned to love the game. So we play a season and a half. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish the second season I played with them.
Okay.
The next year, it was, where's everybody going to go? Okay, where's everybody going to go? We wanted to stay together.
Usual.
And we went to the Long Beach Lions.
Nice.
And
hey,
I switched over from playing defense to playing offense. And I'll give you the story. So we're playing Antelope Valley, last game with the Generals, right?
Okay.
I'm at defensive end, toss out to the running back. I'm pursuing. Running back cuts back. I turn around, and there's the center. And all I saw were my cleats and the sky, right? And that's when I said, you know what? This head on a swivel shit ain't for me anymore. So
yeah,
I flipped over to fullback and I played offense. I got Matt to come out. Josh was there with us. It was all my friends that I had met from semi-pro, plus my best friend from college and his little brother. And it was amazing. Honestly, as far as my play is concerned, probably the best year I've had physically playing the game.
Okay.
That year, they were allowed to add for the national championship, and Inglewood picked up Stroh. Took Stroh down to Florida, won a national championship down there that year.
Okay.
And, me and Corey are looking at each other. We're all looking at each other. Well, where are we going to go next? Back then, some of the guys, were just like you at one point. I'm never going to be a Blackhawk. I'm going to beat the Blackhawks. You know what I mean? Never going to happen.
Pride is a motherfucker.
Yes, it is. So I'm sitting there thinking, they're down the street. Stroh's going to be there. Corey Johnson's going. T-Pain's going. I was not ring chasing. I was homie chasing. I was going where my boys went.
That makes sense, yeah.
That does make sense.
We went there. We had a great season, undefeated, more points ever scored I think we had 903 points or 933 points that season.
You guys are bullies.
You were bullies.
You were fucking bullies.
You can't say that. We were just better. And that was when,
hands down,
that was when we played the Steelers. We played the Cobras.
Oh, yeah.
That's back
sure.
when the Raiders were around. That's back when people were playing ball.
Yeah.
So to be able to do what we did with the talent that we had, it was just off the charts, man. It was some of the most fun I have ever had. Took a shot that season. And, my playing days after that shot I took, and I think it was from Daniel Packard, that son of a bitch. love you, Pack, but you got me. I think it was from Packard. And we all know landing on the field at Jackie ain't the softest landing in the world.
Oh, Jesus, no.
So, yeah. That
Justin's like, hell no.
Right. It's a rough one. So that took me out, man. It took me out of playing for a couple years. But that's what opened the door for, me to... I'm kind of that little kid that showed up at Tony's doorstep and never left,
Right.
And it was anything I can do. What can I help with next? I'm done playing, but I want to help. I want to be part of it. And that's where the real journey for me and what I felt I did best for the team started to take place.
I have some follow-up questions, just because.
Go for it.
So one, I wanted to know, where did you play college football?
I was at ELAC and had a good time there. my godfather, little known fact, is Bruce Schneider, was the head
nice.
coach at Arizona State at the time. So
Nice.
I got to get out there for a semester in training camp. I mean, nothing special, just a long snapper, you know. Couldn't do the college thing well. Little too much trouble.
Little. The fuck out of here.
A lot of too much trouble. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
In 2000 in Tempe, like it was insane.
It was Rave City, baby.
Never even put on the uniform.
Oh, damn.
Never even put on the uniform. Yeah.
So you said
for your goddad to have to be the one to tell you, yeah, maybe this ain't for you. I mean, I had a girl at home, so my attention wasn't there. I was It was a sticky situation, and she was a baddie. And at that point, I thought I wanted to get married and the whole 9 yards.
Oh,
yeah,
we all been there. I can't even clown. We have all been there.
like right.
Well.
Like, and now, I mean, at 43, like they got me once. They were never going to get me again, which is, why we're bachelor padding it now.
I feel it.
So you went from ELAC, tried out, trying to get things done in Arizona at Arizona State, and you said that was back in 2000, right?
That was back in 2000. I took a year off from high school before going to ELAC. Went into construction. Thought I wanted to work. Once you start busting rod at 18, 19 years old, digging ditches ain't what you want to do.
No, seriously,
right.
Yeah.
So back to school, and I figured I'd play a little football, had some fun. Played outside linebacker at ELAC. I played behind a dude that was, hell, he ended up going to the University of Arizona and getting kicked out. I mean, these two brothers, Sal and Cesar Castaneda, out of Lincoln Heights, they played at Franklin High School. They were just phenomenal, and it was an honor to back that dude up in college. So the next year at ELAC, it's supposed to be my time, blah, blah, blah. Had a good season. Didn't finish it because got hurt. Concussions are a bitch. And then it was just that little short stint at Arizona State because I would go to camp out there like all 4 years of high school. I mean, it was free, like I said, goddad. And I was a hell of a long snapper. So, why not? But the partying, and I didn't go to class. I mean, let's be real. You know what I mean? You're out there living that life. I went to maybe 2 or 3 classes, and they were the football player hooked up classes, bro. And
nobody can hate on the long snapper. Look, I'm a long snapper. One of my friend's little brothers actually got a full ride for being a long snapper. So we love the long snapper.
Yeah, love the long snapper. I played long snapper for a long time too.
I mean, seriously. It was you figure you do it in high school, you do it in college. What's the easiest way to get to the NFL? Well, then you think about it going, wait, there's only one long snapper per team. There's 4 linebackers. There's 4 DBs. You were doing the math wrong
real shit though.
Time.
But as you get to the higher levels, I'm not even gonna lie. There's levels to this shit. Long snapping, when you get clocked. Oh, I've never been clocked on a snap before. I get to college and they're like, long snappers, let's go. And they bring out stopwatches. I was like, what is this?
Those guys were legit. Listen, so I think you and I played against each other.
Ooh, they played against each other. Dum, dum, dum.
Dum, dum, dum. I think John and I played against each other. So I was at LA Southwest 99 2000.
Oh, you guys played against each other.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yeah. So.
Yes, we did.
Hey, look at this semi-pro world is so crazy. Like how people's past have different journeys, but we're all intertwined in a way. I met Justin. Fun fact: I met Justin while I was at the University of Laverne playing football.
Yeah.
He was actually my ex-girlfriend's boss at the gym.
Hey, she was crazy, dog. That girl was crazy.
Yeah, she was.
So
she was bad shit.
Then you played against them too. One of the worst whoopings I ever took was from Reggie Haynes. Damn. When Reggie Haynes was at West. So you must have played against Reggie too when Reggie was at West.
Yeah, probably.
Because if you were at Southwest,
I played with Reggie too.
Okay.
So I think You're talking about quarterback Reggie Haynes, right?
Quarterback Reggie Haynes.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
bro,
played.
let me
He
tell you
played
that
with
story.
us with Inglewood.
Yes.
Ooh,
So
nice.
we were at ELAC, right? And we had green jerseys, silver pants.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So the coaches tried to do a jersey switch right before kickoff. So they got us these new black jerseys. We're going out there looking like the fucking Raiders, which I gave two fucks about looking like. And that was supposed to be the thing. Oh, man, the black jerseys, they were tight, bro. We go out there and Reggie Haynes having 60 points on our ass and calls
How
it a
about that for
day.
black jerseys, motherfuckers?
Bro, because we came out stretched and the green ones came out for game time and the black ones and got our ass whooped, boy.
Hey, so
that boy went off.
So this leads me to my question. You said you're like the kid that never left, right?
Yeah.
Throughout your journey, John, knowing you personally, like you're just a genuine human being. Like in one of the first episodes, Justin, I told you we had good people. Yep. John is one of those good people. Is that how you would say it was an easy transition to go from being a player to the general manager of the best team in semi-pro history?
Fuck no.
I label it the best team in semi-pro history.
Seriously.
Organization.
I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. From the inside and the out. But was it easy? Fuck no.
Okay.
It was a fight for respect. That next year, I was the offensive line coach, and that was an offensive line that was established for years, man. And to be able to try to help, coach or lead that group, like I was like, I didn't have hair, but if I would have, I would have been pulling it out.
Yeah.
It was not easy,
Okay.
And Tony, demands a lot. You know what I mean, from his staff.
This is true.
So I had to work, and I worked my ass off that first year, and I took a lot of shit. I took it from players on my team. I took it from players on the other teams. But I persevered. I stuck with it.
Yeah.
At the end of that year, we win a championship, right? And so it's like, well, what's next? So we're planning for the next year, and we get together with our meeting, and Leon is the one that goes general manager. Let me get you off the field. Let me get you building this team.
Fuck yeah! So, shout out to Leon.
Yeah, definitely, man. Family right there. So you thought I thought being the offensive line coach was hard. No. Because now it's just not Tony demanding of me. Now it's Tony starting to groom me. Yeah. Now it's him like really, really investing time in how we evaluate talent, what he's looking for, what he sees. And at that point, you're in the mind of a genius. So you soak up as much as you possibly can. You fuck up along the way. And you fuck up. He'll let you know you fucked up.
Yeah.
He has no shame about that at all.
Right.
But I'll tell you this, it made me what I think was a pretty damn good GM, and it made me an even better fucking human being. You know what I'm saying? It helped me in my life. At a time where, shit was just starting to go right. Like, coming to the Blackhawks in 2012, like, I completely had a career change. And I'm doing now what I started doing back then. And, I'm getting paid a decent amount of money for it. And that was all because of things I learned and from Tony,
Okay.
He essentially, like, and that's what I mean by I was the kid that never left,
Right.
I came there, just a football player, just someone who loved the game. And I left with an entire different understanding of what it was to be a man and lead men, Because being a man is one thing, but being able to lead men, that's rare.
So here's an important question, important fact to find out. How old were you when you took on this role?
We won our national championship when I played there. I was 33 years old.
So Now, being 33, like I'm 36 now, and I'm barely, like, me and Justin are barely getting like established in this, right? But
Mhm.
we've both been in roles where being a young age, because 33 to lead men, unless they're
Yeah.
way younger than you, is very hard to do, because you have
Yeah.
some men, like there's guys on the team right now, if I'm coaching, that would be older than me, and they got to be able to respect you and value what you're telling them. So for him to do this at 33 is very fucking impressive.
What was that transition like for you?
Like I said, it was hard. It was
Okay.
hard. There were people that, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I mean? First of all, he only played here for a year, and now he's in this role. You know, like I said, first year as an offensive line coach, second year, so 34, I take over as GM.
Wow.
Oh,
And again,
34, I barely figured out how to pay rent the right way.
hey, bro,
I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you, like, the
when
wife
I
does
tell
all
you,
the bills. I had to do it
I'm
one
right
time, and
there
I was
with
like,
you.
fuck, all right, finances, let's do it.
I'm right there with you, bro. I learned. I got on the job training in football and in fucking life from that man.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Why, dude? 12 seasons, bro. 10 years I've been there. When I say I came and never left, I came and never left.
Yep.
I bleed this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
That's facts.
But it was tough though. You know, you had the challenges. You had the guys that, like I said, who the fuck is this dude? You know, when I came in as an offensive line coach, we had an offensive lineman, and I'm not going to go into names or anything like that.
Right, you don't
who
have
had
to.
been with the program forever. I benched his ass, and I put somebody in who I felt was better. And he was. You know, he was younger, stronger, faster. I mean, at some point, we're all told we can't play the child's game anymore. It's
Right.
Factual.
You know, it
All
just
the
had to
facts.
suck. It sucks to be the one to have that conversation.
Right.
You know, so then transitioning to GM, like I said, a lot of hard work. Again, you know, a little easier because I'm not dealing with the day-to-day as far as the coaching is concerned.
Okay.
At that point, you know, I'm working with Tasha, I'm working with Dinez, you know, on the back end as well.
This question next.
You know, anything for the program at first. And then it really wasn't until the second year where Tony started giving me, okay, here's a list. So we go through our list and we're looking through, and this isn't semi-pro players. We're looking through for outside guys that are bounce backs, guys that are, you know, don't have the grades, that are getting booted out of JUCO. I mean, we're just looking for that next level younger athlete. And, you know, and obviously, you know, you see a guy on another team, okay, who do we want to pull? And then it's just a matter of how do you convince them to come to the Blackhawks? Well, you figure that shit would be easy, right? You know, come over here, we got a spot for you. But it was never, I have a spot for you. It was always, I have an opportunity for you.
Facts.
You know, and Paul will tell you, Paul fucking probably hated me for a couple of years because, you know, it was.
We don't talk about those times.
It was hard to get over here. You know,
Yeah.
it was hard to get over here. You know, there were things we were looking at. We were looking at guys that weren't on the boards. We didn't want the mouths. We didn't want anything flashy. But some of those guys are some of the best players in the fucking league.
Disclaimer. So I put in what he's talking about. So for some of you that, well, a lot of you may not know this, but before you can get an invite to like the first day of camp, because it's not publicized, it's not out public, it's word of mouth. You have to go fill out basically like a recruiting form, and you're in a database. I was my second year with the Apaches, or second year out of Laverne. No, it was when I first made my first comeback, and I was trying to find out what team I was going to go to, and I filled it out, and I didn't get a call back. And I was like, what the fuck? Then the second year, then after my year with the Tide, like I stepped up. I was playing all sorts of positions. I got us to a championship game, playing quarterback. We fucking lost, but it was that moment. It was at that moment I felt I had made my name, and I filled it out again. and I didn't get called back. And I was like, man, fuck this. And then so the Apaches came back, right? So now we're going at it. Colca walks up to me and he tells me straight to my face, and this is how I fell in love with Colca as a human being. You're a fucking athlete. Don't think I'm ignoring you, but you just don't fit the Blackhawk way. And I was like, what the fuck? And I had to go back. And if I go back and look at it, I was a mouth on the boards. I was talking shit. I could play football. Yes, I did do those things. I did get a team to a championship that was and I was a leader, but I ran my mouth too much. And everybody on the Blackhawks that year and the year before and the year before that I was trying to get on was quiet. I was trying to be a voice when I should have just shut the fuck up and played football. And I would have been I would have been a Blackhawk away sooner than now. So
A
when
lot
he
of
said,
what we did involved our players. You know,
yeah,
we would talk to our guys. Are you comfortable playing with this dude? You know, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy? You know, decisions were made. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, the decisions were mine and Tony's. If we wanted to bring someone in, we were going to bring him in. If the guys wanted somebody and we vetoed him, we vetoed him. It was what it was. But for the most part, like, it was a team thing. You know, we would talk to Roy. We would talk to Flowers. You know, are you comfortable with this dude? Do you think this person is going to be a fit? And you got to go with your guys, man. You got to go with your Warriors, dude. Those guys were monsters, man, and legends in the game. How do I not take the opinion of a Roy Otis or Brian Flowers when it comes to putting somebody around him that they have to play with?
Yeah. Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
And honestly, you guys are right. I've openly said this. Like, I didn't deserve to be a Blackhawk until these last 2 years.
Well, and you got to look at it. There's Blackhawks shut down in 2017.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Okay, we closed down after that spring season, and I was I was done. You know, for sure. We had won 3 in a row when I had gotten there, and then we had lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, in the championship game, for 2 of them, lost to the Trojans, lost to the Coyotes, lost to the Trojans. Then lost to the Coyotes, then lost to the Trojans in that spring season.
Right.
And, well, shit, I guess in the fall season too. So, yeah, it was 3 years of losses in a championship. So now we're in 2017. I am done. I am not running the team anymore. I am not the general manager. I am a fan in the stands. My mom gets sick. And having no idea that I was going to find out that she was sick on 4th of July and she was going to be gone August 13th, that shook my entire world. Changed who I am as a human being, changed everything about me.
Right.
There was one place that I knew I can go to where I was going to feel at home again. I called Tony. Literally 2 minutes after my mom. Like, I'm not even joking. Tony was with me on the phone, along with all my brothers. You know what I mean? On the team, David, they were Edgar, Roy, Flowers, Stroh, Red. I could sit here and name names for days. Smitty, CJ. And they were on the phone with me every day. But Tony, like, it was every day. Fitch, I listen, man. You want to talk about genuine good human beings? Look no farther than Jason Fitch.
Amen.
Look no farther than that, man. So my mom passes. Like, I'm on the phone with Tony. Like, it's literally the first call I make because I had been talking to him 20 minutes ago, and then I had to call him and say she's gone.
Damn.
So I did what I needed to do from with the house and my cousins and getting my mom cremated and just it was so much.
Yeah.
And I needed help, and I didn't need money, or I didn't need. I needed the game, and I needed the Blackhawks, and I didn't come back as a GM. I put my uniform back on.
Yep.
And I was the long snapper. I mean, I knew my body wasn't going to hold up for anything but I wanted to be on the field. I wanted to be with my guys. So at 37 years old, I put a uni back on, and that saved my life again. Uke, Smitty, CJ, Edgar, David, Benson. You know what I mean? The list goes on, man.
Yeah.
And those guys again saved my life.
So what you're saying is at 43 years old, I can come back and do this. Let's go.
Hey, I'm 43 too, brother, and I'm telling you, there ain't no way in hell.
Justin,
we will
let's
die.
Do it. Let's do it, Justin.
Die.
Hell
don't
no,
you
on the sideline the whole time.
Listen, don't you let this man do a left gas you up. Don't you let him gas you up into a bad hit, bro. It's coming.
Yeah, don't listen to me because I'm
you listen to
done.
That man.
Like I'm not trying to let the cat out of the bag, but if I think what's gonna happen takes place, then there's only like a couple left, and like I'm going hard in the gym for those last two because it's over after this. Helmet's going in a case, jersey's going in a case, and that's it. It's Coach Paul from here on out.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that at all, because it's not leaving the game. It's just the next step.
Right.
And anybody who was ever great takes the next step.
Now that's a good segue. I got more questions. Okay. The next step, right? We're going to go with the perfect angle here on this one. So it's obviously not a rumor. It's coming from the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend. The Blackhawks are done. Tony's done.
Yes.
The Blackhawks are done. But obviously, I don't know if John Colca's done, because I've never talked to John Colca this way.
Oh, my guy.
What's next? The Blackhawks, from what I understand, again, they're done. However, is there something in the works right now? Because obviously, we've had conversations. Paul and I have been talking to other people in the league, and the LDFL, the reputation, from what I understand, is not very good right now. Not like the LCFL. Right? What's in the works? What's going on?
Well, that's kind of two parts there. So I'll address the LDFL thing first. The LDFL is done. The LDFL was done last year. Okay?
There it is.
The LDFL could have been done the right way. But the people that were involved, and listen, there are certain things I will air out, and there are certain things I won't, and that's just the human being I am. If there were people in the LDFL that were able to put their personal shit aside and work together, it would have been dope. Okay, it would have been just like the LCFL was. But at the end of the day, the LCFL was run by Tony Reid. Like, and I don't want to say this to sound smug, because it's not how it comes off at all. If someone is good at if someone is good at something, let them fucking do it and just stay out of the way. If you know what I mean, let them do it. Participate. Like, it could have been great. Success. If you get beat, you get beat. Listen, do you hear? Fuck it. Let's put all this shit out there. You want to talk about fucking, the Blackhawks this, the Blackhawks that. First of all, you've been a Blackhawk. Talk about refs helping us, right? What's the most penalized team in the fucking league in the history of ever?
The Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks.
Okay?
Yep.
But yet the refs fucking, really? Bro.
Heck no, bro.
Y'all are on drugs. We paid the refs. Of course we paid the refs. We're at home, just like you pay them when you're at home. And guess what? It's the same shitty refs. You know what I'm saying? They're not. We know them all by name, buddy. God, I mean, it is the same refs at the same organizations, and whether you're playing in the LMNOP league, the XYZ league, the CBD league, it doesn't matter. It's the same damn refs that probably shouldn't even be ref in high school. So to say that the refs are on our side. The motherfuckers, half the time, they probably don't even have shoes. That's how ill-prepared minor league refs are, bro. Like, that is the craziest shit I've ever heard.
They hate us too.
They hate us. Oh my God! But according to everybody else, Tony Reid, the Blackhawks, the evil empire. You know what? God, you're damn right we were. Okay, but cheating and that kind of shit, favoritism. Listen, bro. People got sick of losing, took their ball and did what was best for their program. I'm not going to fucking fault another man for that. I'm not going to call you a coward. I'm not going to say any of that kind of shit. You did what was best for your program. And that's all you could ask anybody to do. And if you felt that wasn't with the LCFL or the LDFL, great. Shit. Clark's got a league he's been running for 3-4 years now. They're doing good things. Like, it worked for them. That, and that's amazing. So I don't fault anybody for that. But the people that say, they left because it was run improperly. Well, if you would have just let Tony run the shit, it would have been ran properly.
Right.
And you could say it's biased, whatever, because I'm friends. I'm not friends with him. That man's my fucking brother.
Right.
But he did it right. You gotta, at some point, if you want to know why semi-pro is where it's at, just look at the cast of characters that are in it.
Right, I fuck with that answer. Now let's answer the question. The second part of the question, Colca.
If that offends anybody, I do apologize, because that is not my intention at all. But it's just the truth.
That's cool. Now the second, truth hurts, man. Truth hurts for reals. So now the second part of the question. Let's go. Let's get to it. What's next for John Colca?
John Colca's retired, boys.
What?
John Colca wants to enjoy some time off. Want to spend a little more time with my pops. Focus on saving up some bread, putting some money away, maybe able to do some things financially in the future. Becoming a better version of me, I've done so many things right in this life, but I've done so many things wrong, and there are certain areas that I don't feel I owe anybody anything, but I have to make amends for myself. And that takes time.
I like that.
And that takes time with myself.
Right.
I can't be worried about 70 other guys right now. I can't be worried about, is this person going to get to a game? Is this person, because if I ever do this again, I'm going to do it 100%. I don't, this year I had to be a little detached, because of a work schedule that, I inherited. It made me some good money, but I didn't get to spend the time with the boys that I usually get to. And unless I can do something wholeheartedly, and to be honest, like I don't know how I'm going to look at somebody else, on the field with me that's not Tony. Like I said, that is my brother. And to even think about doing it without him, it shit breaks my heart.
Yeah.
That is my brother. The Blackhawks are my team. I will bleed those colors until the day they put me in a box. Now, things do change. If there's a time where I feel I could step back into something like this and be of value, maybe. Right. But that we're talking, the stars aligning. And the only reason I say that is because I don't ever like to say never on anything. I don't like to burn a bridge on anything by making statements or speaking anything into existence. But as of right now, I'm definitely retired. I get to go watch some games.
That's right.
I get to go watch some of my boys play and not have to worry about fucking, like I said, who's not wearing tall socks and, bad calls and shit like that. I could be the guy in the stands laughing and talking shit about it and having fun on the sidelines and cheering on this new generation, man. You got some good fucking talent out there. Some of these kids, man, are dope, bro. Like we had a couple in this year, bro. Q and Oh my God, bro! Like these young cats, man, they just Angel, these up and coming kids, man. I mean, he's
Yeah.
been doing it forever, but oh my God, the season Vincent Strange had. Are you fucking kidding me,
Wow.
bro?
Amazing.
Did that boy go nuts or what? The
Yeah.
season Darius had. Oh my God, man! Like, and then you got the old War Dogs that still did it at a high level. The Devons, the Michaels, the Davids, the Edgars. It sucks to say those guys are old now, but shit, they're fucking old.
Yeah.
But they
They
were
are.
still monsters, man.
And still all pro athletes,
It's
all of them.
all pros, bro. And Chris Benson's, you know what I mean? You got to
Chris
see these
Benson,
guys
shout out.
like, bro. Oh, hey, listen, that Chris Benson is one of my favorite people I have met in semi-pro football.
When I say
That
good people, that is a good person. Chris
that's
Benson is a fucking great person.
That is another dude that is 100% genuine and
Facts.
just a good fucking a hell of a football player and a good human being.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's hard. That's what's hard to walk away from.
Yeah.
Because those guys, you mean you're gonna talk to them. I'm gonna talk to Flowers all the time. I'm gonna talk to Benson all the time. I'm gonna stay in touch with Devin, and Edgar, David. So many people, and you're gonna stay in touch with them. But there's those guys that were maybe just there for a year that you're absolutely gonna remember, and then you're gonna kick yourself in 6 months for not reaching out.
Right.
Like there's always something that's gonna fall through the cracks, and that's the part. That's the part I'll miss. The football, what did we have left to prove?
True.
Right. So with being such a successful organization, being the general manager for as long as you were, obviously there was a method to it. There was a process that you had. There was almost like a playbook, right? That you
Yes.
followed some sort of, you had your niche, right? So what type of advice could you give for somebody that's getting ready maybe to start an organization or run an organization or is running an organization now? What would be your best advice to them right now?
Don't do it. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Make sure your money's right. This is not fucking cheap. This is to do it the way we did it. I mean, you skip meals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anybody can own a team. Not a lot of people can run an organization.
Right.
That takes time and that takes money. It is most of these teams that pop up fold because the fucking bankroll is not there.
Yeah.
And Biggie said it best: if you ain't got the clientele, say hell no.
Hey, that's facts. That is fucking fact.
Dude.
How many teams have we seen just fold up shop because they do not have the right process in place?
Right.
Great people, but don't have the proper foundation, and it fucks them.
Right. Hold on. I'm going to put one of these ear pods back in a charger for a second, boys.
Yeah, no worries. Well, you do that. That's actually, if you can still hear me. All right. He's actually going to step away. That's cool. See, Justin, like between Colca and Tony, like you got to experience the first part of the glory days of like what I learned was the Blackhawks.
Right.
And from what you hear now, was there anything that differed between the two generations?
Not from what I gather. I mean, we played with attitude, and I'm sure the Blackhawks still played with attitude. I mean, we played with the attitude like we're going to come on the field and you can't mess with us, you can't touch us. Even like the Steelers and the Rhinos and those types of teams that we played against. We didn't care who you were.
Okay.
Like we were the Inglewood Blackhawks, and we knew that carried weight, that carried an intimidation factor.
Okay.
And that's the swag that we came and stepped on the field with. So
right.
And I'm sure that was the same flag. What happened?
That hasn't changed.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't really feel like that has changed, and organizationally, it's Tony's never, from what I see, Tony's never been the guy that's like, oh, I've got 30 years experience of doing 1 year just over and over and over and over again. No, he has an actual, 24 years of experience where you're experiencing something different and having to come up with different solutions for these things and continuing to be successful in that. Those are signs of being a good leader.
Excuse me.
Adapting and growing.
It's an adapt or die.
Yeah. So
and we went through that.
I think it's sad. I'll be honest. Like for me, when I saw what he posted, I think we all live in, like, we understand, like, we live in a time where it's really hard to focus on something so long, right? So when I'm like reading it, I'm like, this is a stupid long post, but Tony's announcing his retirement and the end of an organization itself.
Yeah.
That I had the ability to be a part of at one point.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie, like, I got emotional,
We all are.
You got to look at it. That man was living Groundhog Day for the last 25 years. And to think, he's not going to wake up and do the same thing next year. I was involved in the decision. You know what I mean? I knew about this a long time before he ever wrote that.
Yeah.
And, in the back of my mind is, okay, now I'm just John Colca.
You're not just John Colca. You're my fucking brother.
Well, you got to look at it. At some point, I had to realize, and I had to come to grips with, I have to be okay with this.
Yeah.
And I support him and Tasha, and I wish them nothing but happiness. Like, they're going to go out and have so much fucking fun and be able to do so many family things, as we all are, that they weren't able to do before. That man gave up weekends 6 months a year for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have someone bad in your corner to be able to pull that off. And
shout out to Mrs. Reid.
And Tasha's as amazing as they get, man.
Yeah.
As amazing as they get.
So, as we all know, this past weekend we went to Washington and we lost.
Here we go.
Yes. All right, Justin. We've promised viewers and listeners we would never get messy, but let me tell you guys right now, it's about to get fucking messy. So as I lead into this segue, so I'm going to tell you what happened. So I kind of briefly talked about it the last podcast, or the one before, Marcus. So we had a GDFL playoff game where a team tried to get us to forfeit because of a shitty field for 45 minutes. At the end of the game, the owner is on the phone calling the other owner. So the commissioner is on the phone with an owner. I'm not going to say what owner, on the phone with an owner. He is on speaker. The commissioner then proceeds to call the other owner a bitch. Because he's like, all sorts of fugazi stuff goes on, right? So we go to Washington. First of all, we shouldn't have even been in Washington. They gave them points off of 3 forfeit wins. What? I don't know how this works.
So let's talk about the GDFL.
Let's just get straight to it. How shitty of a league was this? Say that again?
I'm glad it's fucking done football league. The GDFL, bro. On paper and on the internet, nobody does it better. Nobody does it better. They have the graphics. They have the publication. When they say all that glitters is not gold, it says GDFL right next to that fucking statement, right? This place is ran by the just add water rules of football. Okay. I mean, what a fucking shit show, bro. So apparently, when it all came out to play, we weren't eligible to host a home game after week 6 because of a. And this, I'm going to start with at the end, and I'm going to work my way back with this one. So we were told, well, there's a 35-point cap rule.
What?
Wait, what? Well, what does that mean? Well, that means in 2021, we put in a rule that capped the scoring to 35 points so lesser teams would not leave the league.
Oh,
so basically, if some team put 66 to fucking nothing up on them, all they got credit for was the 35.
Since 2021, mind you, we were in this league last year, and we were in first place because we scored all the fucking points, my God.
So apparently last year it was never an issue, and in 2021 it was never an issue. So we're jumping timelines now. I'm fucking Spidey in this shit.
All right, so let's stick to this fuckery this year.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a previous conversation. So we were told you need to score XYZ amount of points, and you're gonna be the number 1 seed.
Okay.
Well, we go out there and we score those points.
Okay.
Then they go, well, we forgot. There's this rule, and technically you haven't been eligible to be in first place since week 4 because there's no way you could have caught up. Meanwhile, the other team had received 3 forfeit wins at 35-0. Our actual played game against the Coyotes, where we won 10-8, is what chopped our knees off. If we would have scored 2 more points or allowed 2 less points, we would have been the number 1 seed.
That's weak.
We were not the number 1 seed by 1.25 points.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So, and that's why I say to just add water. So now we're going to Spidey timeline again. So we were told, or Tony was told, that if it's not by differential, it's by points scored. Okay. So we had that argument out with them. Okay, well, they apologized. We misspoke. Okay, you misspoke. It's by differential. It's in the rule book, so we're going to go by what's in the rule book. That's what we were told. So, okay, differential. So fast forward back to where we just were in the Spideyverse, where they said this 35-point cap rule. Well, that's not in the fucking playoffs. I mean, not in the playbook. Can you boys still hear me?
Yes,
yeah,
we can.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not in the play. That's not in their rule book. But we're going to go with it anyway. Wait a minute. So the first one was in the rule book, so we conceded. Okay, we understand. This one, there's no fucking written rule for this 35-point cap shit. This was, talked about or some shit like that. No, there's never a fucking rule. We sure as hell didn't know about it. How the Rebels knew about it, I have no fucking clue. But they're the ones that brought it up. How do the Rebels know about it? Because this league has kissed their ass every step of the way.
Wow.
This is where it gets
they got
messy.
their ass beat last year. Fuck the Rebels. Yeah, I said it. Oh, well.
This is where it gets messy. Their own people inside this organization, this guy's own commissioner is trying to take him down. Okay? Because he wants to run the league. So you got one guy saying this guy's doing all this. You got the owner saying this guy's doing all this. Dude, they were in a conversation with a bunch of board members, and we were told by their commissioner that the owner said, well, if I have a choice, I'd rather lose the Blackhawks than the Rebels because the Blackhawks are a bunch of bullies. Nobody wants to go there and play them. Yeah, nobody likes coming down and getting their ass kicked. Of course nobody wants to come play us.
Sorry, Utah.
But we're a bunch of bullies. And they brought up some shit that happened in our national championship game in Vegas. And, hey,
sorry,
you know what?
Arizona.
Rightfully so. Hey, we didn't have our sideline together that game. But we didn't threaten any players on another team. We didn't go after anybody on the other team. We had some in-house issues that we, unfortunately didn't deal with the right way at the time.
Justin, the camera picked up a fucking brother conversation and they fucking took it literal, bro. Like, we had two teammates that were just heated because we were fucking trying to come back, and their camera picked it up, and they got all bent out of shape because of it.
Wow, it was insane. Like, and that's what you're judging us upon. We went out to Erie and didn't have any incidents. We went out to Erie and put on a show for 50,000 people where the fucking ref takes the ball and walks off the field with 7 seconds left. We're down by 2 points. We could have called the timeout and kicked the field goal. But their team ran on the field and celebrated prematurely, and the fucking ref took the ball and walked off.
No way.
In field goal range, we have a timeout. So let's talk about the fucking GDFL.
Man.
Like, bro, I watched refs walk a team up and down the goddamn field in Erie. Okay? So that national championship games in Erie, we're playing Erie. Why the fuck did we have to go to Vegas for the West Coast National Championship? Why couldn't we in Inglewood host it where there would have been a crowd? There would have been sideline issues.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Instead, they put us in Vegas on one of the hottest fucking days of the year. 7 o'clock at night. 6:30, 6:45, 102 degrees.
To travel for their natty against us. Why should we have had to go anywhere? You put us on a shit field with shit refs.
Yep. In shit weather. Justin, it was 7 o'clock at night, 102 degrees.
We lost in 2 national championships. Now, I'm not going to say Erie wasn't a bad team, but Syracuse Strong on a good day couldn't hold our draws, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Erie was a good team. That was a good football team. There was a few suspect calls, but that was a great football game. The game down here in Vegas, Jesus Christ, man. Those refs could take 2 weeks off and then quit.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, I know that in a conversation we had, you kind of wanted to, since this is the episode where you announced your retirement, that you kind of wanted to say some things to the semi-pro world and to an individual. So before we take off and we wrap this up, we're going to give you the opportunity to do so. Floor is yours, my man.
To anyone I've ever offended, I'm sorry. To anyone I have ever helped, thank you for letting me be that in your life. I wasn't always perfect. Everything I did with the best intentions of my brand. And I really want to tell Tony Reid how much I appreciate him and how, I've thanked him throughout the whole video. But brother, thank you. It was a hell of a ride, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for both of us, brother. I love you. I appreciate you. And I just can't thank you and your family enough for what you've done for me as a Blackhawk, but even more for what you've done for me as John Colca.
That's right.
That's it, boy. Hey, man, and to the rest of y'all out there, bro, be good to each other, man.
Amen.
Be good to each other. Fighting any of that shit on the field with each other, bro, like, let that go, man. There's only so many years y'all have left of this. Enjoy every second of it. Because in a heartbeat, it's gone, fellas.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, right. Respect it, and be good to each other, man.
That's your man, John Colca. I'm your boy, Paul Wall.
Jay Jizzle, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, thank y'all for being on The Perfect Angle. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. We love y'all. Peace.
Yeah.